My name is Jodi Sims and I own Churchgate Fisheries. Well, I live here and that's how it came about, but I've always lived around the southeast of Essex and that's where I'm from. 2020, just before lockdown, or in fact, it all came about because we found the house on Rightmove, because the fishery and the house was sort of a separate purchase, but you couldn't have one without the other really. And we found the house by accident, came and had a look at it, fell in love with it, didn't know anything about fishing, and just thought, got to have this house, so got to go and buy a fishery. So yeah, just bought it in February 20, and then lockdown was March 20, and completed on the lakes a little bit after the house in lockdown. So not knowing anything about fishing, I actually bought a fishery and couldn't even open. Bit of a challenge. Spaghetti bolognese. Absolutely mental, no day's the same. Up at 5:30 every day. I've always believed that if you can get up 3-4 hours before anyone else, you've got a head start in business or anything in life. So always up early, body clock gets me up, brain's ticking straight away. As you know, or maybe the viewers don't, I've got a couple of other businesses, one of them which enabled me to buy this place. So they're still running, so I'm trying to balance that with the fishery and all the developments that I'm looking to do here. Well, other than not being able to accept anglers and get revenue straight away, the fishery's been going or established for 15-20 years. So it's not like I just bought a field and started a fishery, but it was run down, and I don't want to knock the previous owner because he's done a brilliant job here, but it was just a little bit tired. Maybe after 20-25 years he'd lost that enthusiasm and that passion that I've now got. So the main thing was getting rid of the mud. I didn't know, because I'm not fishing before, I didn't realise that fisheries had mud. I thought, I've played golf all my life on manicured fairways and nice, neat paths. So I thought that's what fisheries should be like. And I thought, if I wanted to fish, how would I want it to be? So the main challenge was getting rid of the mud and then learning. I mean, kids are sponges at school now, but I was 46 when I bought this place. And maybe I've surprised myself in how much of a sponge I could be, learning a totally different industry. And yeah, just getting to know all the different parts of running a fishery, water care, the fish care, and obviously landscaping, which I knew a little bit about anyway. So yeah, they were the main pressures. So the main thing is obviously, like I said, it was a beautiful fishery, established, but it was muddy. The fences were sort of dilapidated. So making it mud-free so that you can get around the fishery was obviously the first thing to do. Anglers with their barriers that couldn't even get through the mud, to me, just didn't make sense. So, I mean, we've took it to another level now because of my golf background. I've got golf buggies, and I've said, why don't we do a concierge service so that we pick you up from the car park in a golf buggy. You don't need a barrow. You can load up even more stuff because you haven't got to carry it. You don't get to the swim sweating and exhausted already, you know. So that's something I brought in. One of the first things I wanted to do was make it more luxurious to come and fish and enjoy that. So to get those golf buggies around the lakes needed to be mud free. So obviously that was the first thing. A lot of the swims were just patches of mud, surrounded by mud. And it sounds like I'm knocking the place, because I'm not, but I wanted to bring it up to the 21st century and make it mud-free, make it comfortable. I mean, as you can see here, every swim's got its own balustrade, so it's your private area. So it's not like people can walk through your swim. It's so that you've got your area. Nearly every swim's got the jetty platform, so it's safe to put the fish in and out. I invested in boreholes because we're on top of a hill, we're not spring-fed. So water levels are obviously important for the fish safety and for the angler's safety. So the revamping of all the swims and reducing them. There was 55 swims on the fishery, there's now only 37. Obviously this was a match lake down here on the bottom. Match angling's dwindling. In certain areas it's obviously very, very popular, but here there was more people wanting to carp fish. Excuse me, especially with the COVID and stuff and people wanting to get out on the bank. Every man and his dog became an angler. The tackle shop was quite sparse and basic, so with my sports background and the wholesale sportswear that I've been doing for 25 years, I wanted to give that tackle shop a proper exposure and a presence in the industry. So all of my members, all of my anglers can get everything that they need on site. And if anything breaks or they forget anything, they've got it here to use. So that's another thing that I wanted to do. The best thing, if I'm really honest, is the people and the anglers, because I hear some fishery owners don't even like their anglers and they're like a pain in the arse. So without the anglers, I wouldn't have a business. And I'd like to say that I could afford this as my back garden, but it is a business, it needs the anglers. And I vet everyone that joins because they're in my back garden. So it's important that they're of the right character, they're respectful, they know fish care, because fish care is my #1 priority. All the landscaping that you see and the people that know here, they're all great, but they're just an added extra. It's the fish that they're coming for, and fish quality, the quality of their mouths and the way that they're cared for is #1. So the number of anglers that I've got here that are on that page is important, and it's like a family. It's a fishery, but it's a family, and people love coming down here, socialising. Mental health is a big thing, and several of my members have suffered with that. And they come down here, the gates, the security obviously that we have here, they can shut the gate, leave all of their cares and worries behind, catch up with different people, meet new people, and that's important to me. That's a very good question. Well, ever since I've been a young lad, come from a broken home, that's not a sob story, this happens everywhere, you know. But we weren't affluent, so I had 2 jobs when I was 13, and I've grafted ever since. It made me hungry, and I think it didn't hurt me at all, you know. It made me want to go out there and achieve and not prove to myself. It's not a competition. If I can be better tomorrow than I was today, then I'm winning the competition, you know. So inspiration, there's a few people that nobody would know, you know, business men and entrepreneurs that have come into my life. So anyone really that can get up in the morning, go and graft and not expect it from anyone. Go and make it happen, it won't come to you. Well, not knowing anything about fishing, the bailiffs that were here at the time, Jack in particular, he was 13, he was like a Saturday boy. And I felt like I really wanted to take him under my wing and say, look, I know nothing about fishing. You're still learning about life and life experiences, business, etc. So we could work well together, helping each other. So Jack taught me a lot about fishing. He took me fishing for the first time. And the first fish I caught was with Jack, and it was a 29-pound mirror. Obviously here, which was very special. Everyone said you've done it now, because that was one of the bigger fish at the time. So PB wise, it was going to take me a lot to beat that, but that was my first memory. Brilliant memory, buzzing. And I didn't really get why you catch a fish and then put it back. But when I did that for the first time, and then having it being 29 pounds, I thought, right now I want to get a 30. I've been thinking that for the last 3 years. But yeah, so yeah, brilliant first memory of fishing. So when obviously learning loads of different things, I had some good people around me. I mean, Kevin from Mainline, he did a lot for me in putting me in touch with different people that would help me. There's a lady called Bernice that used to do a lot of water testing and that sort of thing. So he put me in touch with her. Sadly, she's retired now, but she came down, tested the water. There was no real aeration here, so advised me about getting the aeration. And rather than fountains and sprayers that you can snag around, I was advised to get like the Syncos with the underwater diffusers. They've worked brilliantly and probably saved this fishery in the last couple of summers. So yeah, and obviously having it netted and managing the biomass. I was told there was far too many fish in here. I don't know how often that had been done before, but reducing the number of fish because of the amount of oxygen that all those fish take from the fish that you want to grow. So managing that and learning how to do that. We net every single year so that we can manage the biomass of, we want bigger fish, everyone wants bigger fish. It's important that we have mid-doubles, mid-20s that are beautiful, healthy. So getting rid of a lot of the silvers, obviously this being a match lake, that was a big, big job to get rid of all of those. But we're getting there, we're on top of it. We've got a massive netting programme next month. A little bit early, but because of diaries and time restraints or constraints, we're doing it a little bit early, but we want to net here. I'm going to take 200 small fish out of this bottom lake. Those that know Churchgate know that this, having been a match lake, it is predominantly smaller fish. So I want to reduce that number, and then reintroduce. I've got like 60 C5s, which are 15, 16 pounds. They're coming this winter. A lot of them will go into here, and then this is hopefully going to turn around to be a good specimen lake. Well, it is already, but an even better one. That's a funny question because all three lakes mean a lot to me because of the time and effort that we've put into developing them and refurbishing them. So yeah, they're all special in their own way, you know. I mean, people think I don't like the middle because I don't spend as much time developing it or changing it, but that's because it's beautiful as it is, it's natural. I like the unknown. There's a lot of fish in there that might not have ever been caught before, you know. Obviously there's cats in there, so that's not everyone's cup of tea. The bottom lake, if I'm really honest, where we are now, I mean, look, I put a VIP swim down here, mainly because it's the biggest expanse of water with the smallest islands. So being nearest the car park as well, so it's the first one you see. I've gone from 26 match swims down to 10 swims, so you get more water here than anywhere else. And I've probably got the biggest chance of getting 40s and 50s growing in here. So probably the bottom if I was gonna edge it, but the top's lovely as well. That's got the most, probably 15, 30s in there. That's the one with all the Wi-Fi around it. The bottom's not been done yet. So they've all got their pros and cons. This one. They're all good. There's not a bad swim on it. And people think that there's some swims that are less popular, which is obviously natural. But I try and fish the swims that people don't want to fish, catch fish in them and show them that they've got fins, they swim around these lakes. So it's not really, there's nowhere that it could be really bad. But because of the amount of water you've got here, the beautiful view, the VIP hut, the amount of space for two people, this is probably going to edge it as the best. Well, members-wise, like I said earlier, they're important to me. And all I want to do is make sure that I'm pleasing the majority of you. I've accepted and I'm quite content that I won't please all of you. But so long as the majority are happy, that's the main thing. The journey that I've been on for just over 3 years is only, well, maybe just over halfway to where I want to be taking it. The bigger fish will be coming, but that's going to take time. The landscaping is what I've done first. I mean, several members have said I've probably done in 3 years what other fisheries might do in 30. So, but that's not enough for me. So I'm not going to just be settled. I won't settle for that. So there's other things, obviously the restaurant that we're going to be doing, I've put that on hold due to the cost of that, wanting to do it properly, and with the cost of living crisis, it's probably not the first and most important thing on people's minds. But the toilets and showers we're working on, obviously the food delivery service is great. Gemma, my partner, she does a great bacon sandwich, sausage and egg sandwich, that sort of thing, delivered to your swim. So yeah, the members just trust and believe that everything I promise I deliver. I won't promise anything that I can't. And going to the people that don't know this place, it is dearer than anywhere else, but you get what you pay for. You don't go to the Ritz and say, can I pay 60 quid a night? Because that's what I pay at the Premier Inn. So you get everything you pay for here. We supply all the kits, so you get proper carp care. the crib, the flotation sling, 2 nets. We pick you up from your car, we take you to your swim. There's lighting all the way around, so at night it's comfortable, it's safe. Security, there's cameras around, there's security gates that shut at night. You can bring your kids here, it's safe. I'm very, very anti-drugs and all that sort of thing, which unfortunately you do get in this sport, but not here. So for the people that don't know this place yet, then definitely come down. You can have a walk around, obviously by appointment. But it's like the centre parks of fishing, but without what I think is the rip-off, because they charge you for absolutely everything. So it's that sort of feel, but with a bit more of a family, personal feel.